So last week when Square Enix released that demo for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it really took a lot of people by surprise, and some people it didn't. Like, a lot of us kind of felt like and kind of knew that demo was coming. But all that aside, the demo itself was like, it really moved me, because, you know, we speculate on, you know, will they get it right? Are they sensitive to how important, like, this particular story and piece of media is to a lot of people? And at the end of the day, some people look at it, it's just a game, it's just another piece of consumable media, right? Yeah, to some, but for a lot of us, it was a very inspiring story, and it was really important for us that they get this right. At the end of the last game, a bunch of people jumped off, a bunch of people were pissed, and rightfully so. I mean, you know, they're entitled to their opinion, right? And a lot of us were like, let's wait and see, and then a lot of people were just like, you know, man, I'm all in. And me, I was like, look, just Square Enix, just take me for a ride. Just take me for a ride. Let's have a good time. Let's rock. I want to see where you all are taking this thing. It can easily jump the shark. It could easily jump the shark, and I have not been shy about my thoughts on that, right? I've kept it real with you all. I've been 100% honest. I'm like, look, Rebirth, the end of Rebirth could suck. Like, it could suck. After this demo, I feel like this stuff is in great hands. The demo was incredible. The slice of story they gave us, and you all know me, I was like, I don't want to play the Nibelheim flashback. I want to experience that in the game. I do not want to play the Nibelheim flashback as the demo. I want to run around the world. I want the Junon section. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. I didn't know how bad I wanted that Nibelheim section. I didn't know what they were going to do with it, right? A lot of people panned it for different reasons or whatever, but I'll get into that in another video. But what they did with the Nibelheim flashback in the demo, they essentially gave us a free DLC. They essentially gave us a free, like, 2-hour DLC that we could play through and enjoy and experience on our own. That's exactly what it was. That's not just a demo. That is a free DLC, because they're giving you the option. They came out and said they're giving you the option. They're giving us, the gamers, the option to skip that section if you have beaten the demo. If you have beaten the Nibelheim flashback in the demo, they're going to give us the option to skip that section. Who's skipping that section? Unless you want to be the first to the end and talk about it, and that's one thing, and you're totally of your rights to do that. I'm experiencing that again. I've played through the demo 4 times now, and I am finding things every time, just like little Easter eggs here and there. And Zangan, how cool is Zangan? Like, I loved his portrayal, how he's got the cape, he's got all that stuff. It's wild, right? But I don't want to get too far off track. I want to talk about how this demo made me feel. It felt like a movie. It felt like a movie in the best way. Like, you get the Nibelheim, you kind of know what to expect, and then you kind of don't know what to expect, because they really went all in on making Nibelheim bigger. It's like the second level you go up, that is like the Nibelheim we remember. Like, all the stuff before you go up the stairs, that's all new. And then you go up the stairs, and then it's Nibelheim as we remember it. I love how the team did that. I loved how they put that together. That was absolutely masterstroke. It's like, oh, all the stuff's new. Then you go upstairs, and you're like, here it is. This is it right here. I loved that. And then you do your thing, and you go visit your mom, you play the piano, you do all that kind of stuff, and then the next day you traipse off to the reactor with Tifa as your guide, and they add all this stuff about the cliff fall, and they lose a guy down the river, and there's things to talk about with that as well that we're not going to get into this video, but we will. And then they expound on it so much, and I love the character interaction between Cloud, faux Cloud, and Tifa, and then real Cloud, who's like sitting with Tifa, directing her and all this kind of stuff, you know. Like the Cloud that we know is Zack in Cloud's mind, and then the real Cloud that he doesn't realize is him, but he's still remembering that. And I love how they did it. I love how they put that together. But the moment that got me, and the moment that got me emotional, and you all know me, I'm not one of these cry for a reaction type of streamers. If something hits me in the emotions, it's real. It's real. And I actually prefer not to get that way on stream. I don't prefer to get that way on stream because, I don't know, it's just something about, but this was genuine, it was raw. And like, when you're on the way to Nibelheim and it starts playing the music, right? It starts playing the music, and then it starts rolling the credits, like the opening of a movie. I was like, I said years ago, I've done hundreds of videos. I can't tell you which video it was. Somebody brought it up in the chat, and they were like, this is how you said you would roll the opening of this. This is how you said you would do it. It's just missing rain, because I said something about doing it, having some rain or something like that. I teared up. I got emotional. I was like, wow. And not because they did it the way I thought they should do it. That's not what it's about. I just felt like that was a brilliant way to portray that section, that opening. If you're going to open game 2 and you're going to open it with the Nibelheim flashback and the story of how everything happened, then you go all in and you make that a movie. You go all in and you make that a movie. That was incredible. I loved how they did that. And then Sephiroth's descent into madness. Like, there are so many movies they referenced. Like, I can't even get all of them, but the big one was Nosferatu. And like in the basement when the candles are lighting Sephiroth, it is the moment Nosferatu's coming down the stairs in the classic horror film. It was brilliant. It was shot exactly on cue. The lighting was perfect. The directing in that scene, Hamaguchi, masterstroke. Square Enix has a real rock star on their hands with this Hamaguchi guy. We're gonna see, after we see the totality of his work with this game, he's probably directing the third game, I would assume, I would hope. If this game turns out to be as great as it looks like it's going to be, hopefully Hamaguchi directs the third game. A fan who is good at his job directing it, that's just a dream come true for all of us, right? We all win in that situation. But the raising of Nibelheim and Sephiroth's like psychological break, his descent into madness, becoming the true villain. All those people who were like, Sephiroth's going to be redeemed in this game, not the way they portrayed him in Nibelheim. And this is exactly what I wanted to see. True, horrifying villain Sephiroth. And in the lead up to remake, remember I was telling you all, one of the things that makes Final Fantasy VII special is the horror. The horror in the story. The horror is so well done. It's like a sci-fi horror. It's also a psychological horror. They went in on the horror in the Nibelheim flashback. They went in on it. Like, in a way I didn't think they would. There was one moment when you're running back toward Nibelheim and everything's on fire and everything, and you hear a woman scream, "Don't look back, keep running." I was like, what? Like, I was all in at that point. All in. The way that line was delivered and the direction given to that line, it's just a throwaway. It's not really a throwaway line, but it's not from like an NPC. It's not from like a meaningful character. It's just a voice in the background. Or maybe it's one of the women running by or something like that, but it's just a voice in the background. But don't look back, keep running. Like, don't look back, just keep going. Leave it. That was madness. That was madness. I couldn't get over how that primed me for what was about to happen. Like, you hear that before you go in and see anything, and that primes you for what is about to happen. Brilliant. It was just brilliant. I've got nothing but good. After 4 times through the demo, I've got nothing but good things to say about it. I didn't catch anything I didn't like. Even the parts where the guys are not shooting Sephiroth, part of that is dependent on how quickly you get through the cues, which you can get through it a little bit more quickly than you do your first time through. He's still slow, but you can still kind of get through it a little bit quicker. But they're also frozen with fear. They are horrified. They are mortified. Their brains can't process what is happening. Everything's not an action movie, right? That was real life. That was some real life shit they showed there, and I commend them for it. That was impressive. That was extremely impressive. I really thought they nailed that. And then, like, Sephiroth killing them slowly. He's killing them slowly with a smile on his face. Now, in the old game, it's just like chop, chop. You know, you don't really get the full brunt of. You don't really get the full context of being able to look that guy in his eyes. Is there a more, I said this on Twitter, is there a more sympathetic Final Fantasy character in all the pantheon of Final Fantasy games at this point than the Mayor of Nibelheim? Like, seriously, the guy the day before, he never hurt a fly, never hurt a soul. Just a good mayor, a good dude, and just leading up to that, he was like, just a few hours before that, he was in the hotel. He was like, "Well, I really want to get some time with Sephiroth. Maybe take him out to dinner and show him the town. But maybe tomorrow. Shucks, darn it. I really missed a chance here. I just wanted to meet the guy." And then he gets decapitated a few hours later by his hero. This isn't Cloud getting beat up by his hero, who stands a chance in a fight. This is not Zack looking up to Sephiroth and the other soldiers and stuff like that and getting beat up in a fight with them. He has a chance. He has a fighting chance. No, this is a civilian whose hero has him at his mercy, and he's just slicing him and slicing him. And then he takes his head. I was blown away. I was blown away by how they portrayed the horror in that scene. And a note I'm going to leave this on. It was kind of a roundabout way how they got Cloud to walk with a limp in that scene, but they had to, because if you all remember in Chapter 2 of Remake, this is another directing point, right? They wanted to bookend this. They wanted your brain to reference Remake Chapter 2. They wanted your brain to reference that. So in Chapter 2, Cloud, psychologically, he starts walking with that limp, and he's like labored, right? I didn't put that together at the time watching the game. I just, he's struggling with something. Maybe he's being drawn by Sephiroth. Maybe that's why he's walking this way. But no, it was the trauma triggering a physical disability he had. Well, I mean disability, an injury. The trauma is triggering his brain to the injury that he had in that moment. So he had the injury in that moment, making him limp like that. So in Remake, it's his brain recalling that moment to a T and triggering a response, like he thinks he's got that injury again, and he's limping through it. They bookended that beautifully. Like, how he got injured maybe could have been maybe a little bit cooler, but injured nonetheless, and he's limping and he's struggling and he's trying to get there. I thought that was brilliant. That was a brilliant touch, and I couldn't have been happier with it. So anyway, post your comments below. Let me know what you thought of the demo. It was amazing. We're in for a ride in 2 weeks. I'm super stoked. I know you all are. So, and I've got a couple more pieces coming today, later on today, that kind of thing. But I want to get this one out there. I want to get this review up. We've been busy around here. A lot of things happening with ARAURA, with the animation production, all that kind of stuff. things are taking off, things are going off. I'll talk about it with you all when I'm allowed to talk about it, when I can talk about it. So anyway, I'm stoked. I'm excited. I can't wait for more. I can't wait for the Junon demo. Sink our teeth into that and get a little more in depth with that. But until then, y'all have a great night. Be safe, be good to each other, keep rocking, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.